Okay, welcome to the virtual podcast, the 7th episode so far. My name is Kenny, and here's the panel for today. We've got somebody returning that has been on previously, and we've got somebody brand new, whom nobody has ever met, except you, Devil.
Hey yo.
So I think it's only fair that we just start the introductions by going for those whom are new. So, do you care to introduce yourself?
I'm Yu Cutie, and I don't know what else you want me to say.
Just say what you do. Like, what are your hobbies? Like, what do you enjoy? What do you spend your free time on?
I like playing a lot of VRChat. I want to become possibly a dancer with Devil, and I like playing other VR games. And I also play like card games IRL at a card shop. It's really fun. Yeah.
Card games? Like, what kind of card games are you talking? Like those normal number, queen, king, jack cards, or
Not like Magic the Gathering. Complicated stuff.
I see. Yeah, it was
Games.
You said it, not I. Okay. Oh, awesome. So, what brought you into, like, what was your portal into VR? Like, what brought you here?
Well, I started off as a desktop user, and then I just like VR. He was the first full body person I knew, and he's kind of what got me into getting into more VR. And just like I love the people and stuff, and like everybody's so nice and stuff. Usually, for the most part, besides certain people, but everybody's really nice. And I just I love the community, and it really brought me into VR.
Oh, so how long have you been in VRChat? Or like since when did you get on your first VRChat game on a desktop?
It was sometime in April, a couple days after my birthday. That's when I got my laptop to play VR.
Last year? Or 2 years ago? Or
Yes, last year.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, last year of April.
Ah. So you haven't had VR for that long then?
I have not.
So, do you regret your investment?
No.
Okay.
No. No.
Well, that's usually what people say, I guess. Yeah. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna have you say
Thank you for having me.
a lot more later. Devil, you've been here before.
Yeah, what's up? It's your boy DevilSigh. Yeah, I've been on Kenny's show before. So anybody who hasn't seen or heard from me before, I'm a full body VRChat dancer. That's like my primary passion on the game. But I also do singing and voice acting, all three of those things which I started because of VRChat. I had no experience with any of them prior to the game, and now all three of them are very strong passions of mine, particularly dancing. I dance for about 6 to 7 different clubs right now, but I primarily dance for Demonic Dragons, which is like my home club. Outside of that, like personal life stuff, I have a background in psychology, as we talked about last time I was on. I've been in the United States Army for 10 years, so I bring like military experience and that kind of perspective for certain things.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 5 active, and I'm still in the reserves.
Damn. Well, it's a pleasure to have you here, Devil. Tom.
Yep. I do so many things. It's hard to say what I do. I guess mostly I just chill out if I'm actually in VR anymore. That's a lot of my work still has to do with VR, but I do it outside of VR, I guess.
Mm.
So would it be fair to say that you're a Tom of all trades?
Da 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 da.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome to have you back, Tom.
Thank you, thank you.
Mm. So, yeah, that was the introduction of everybody.
But Kenny, you forgot someone.
Oh, God, yeah, we have a brand new producer
Our lovely
today.
producer.
Yes, it's not Hansi for once. Do you care to introduce yourself, dear producer?
There's not much to say.
I like the little Kermit head popping up over that. Nobody can see that but us.
As Kermit pops up over there, it's just like, hello everybody,
Hello.
how you doing?
Oh, God.
I mean, I'm new to this sort of thing, but I'm a host for like 8 different clubs, so that's all there is about me. I'm not gonna lie, nothing fun, nothing too exciting.
Okay. Well, it's awesome to have you here. Without further ado, let's just jump right into the stew.
Okay, that was bad. Never again.
Come on, it wasn't that bad.
No,
But
don't
what if
use
I
that
don't
one
want to be a
again.
meal? You trying to say we're all gonna be a snack, Kenny?
Maybe to the French.
Okay, I'll keep my wordplays at a minimum, okay? I tried and failed miserably. But yes, the PlayStation and Sony just a few weeks ago announced their new VR headset, PS VR2, I believe they call it. At the time of the announcement, they didn't really give any specs, but now there is more details surrounding the hardware. So the headset is going to have eye tracking, 4K HDR displays on each eye, and just inside-out tracking. So they won't be base station dependent. They'll just be standalone essentially, but it will be hooked up with a DisplayPort cable to the PlayStation.
Interesting.
I think the most interesting part of that for me is probably the eye tracking. That's one thing I'm really looking at, seeing how it develops, because I want to see like how far that technology can go, especially when they start porting it heavily into VRChat.
Why not? Yeah, about porting it into VRChat. I don't think VRChat currently is available on PlayStation VR with the headset they currently have.
No, it's not available on PlayStation VR. However, you would have to look into how they plan on connecting the headset to the PlayStation VR. Is there a way to... Because obviously Steam VR is very open. It uses an open platform, so you can easily make like something to work for Steam VR or make Steam VR work for something else. It's just a matter of whatever port or display they decide to plug it into, is that going to be compatible with people's computers, and then somebody has to actually make the adapter of the software, the headset, to the Steam VR in order to make it work for VRChat.
Yeah. It kind of depends though whether or not Sony decides to keep its platform open or even allow it to be cross-compatible with PC, I guess, on Steam VR. I think
All I know is I can't even imagine what it would be like having like cross-platform compatibility with VRChat with like Xbox and PlayStation users in here. Like, we think having all the questies around would be a shit show. Oh my god, that would be even worse.
Yeah, fair point. Let's bring all the Xbox players and PlayStation players. I mean, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, it would actually, I mean, in a way though, the good side of that would be it would expose a much larger audience to VRChat. Because I mean, like I said, I've discovered and began cultivating 3 different talents in this game. I can't even imagine what it would do for some other people. It's been a complete godsend for me, and I've met some really cool people. Like Yui over here is one of my best friends. So yeah.
biggest implication, I think, with the PlayStation solidifying its position in the VR market with this new headset, is definitely, as you mentioned, more people will be brought on to VR with a smaller doorstep, if I can use that analogy. Like lower the barriers, essentially. If they already have a PlayStation, like it's easier for them to just like buy a new headset. And you know, consoles have traditionally been like the cheaper way into gaming compared to like PC gaming over the course of
the more
previous
accessible
year.
form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
another
so it's
thing.
like-
They haven't announced a price point for that headset either, which is another thing to consider. Like if it's still really expensive to get the console, I mean, cheaper than a PC, of course, but then really expensive to get the headset on top of that, then it'd be, you know, the same cost as a normal PC nowadays if you combine those two together. So there is the question of, would it really bring people in that are gonna come on to try VR, or is it gonna bring people in that are more than just curious? They're pretty much committed to trying it out. Because if you want to try out VR right now, for the price of a console, you get a Quest 2, and that's the best way to get into it, is to get an all-in-one package that's user friendly, has a whole bunch of apps and stuff that is compatible with it, like VRChat and stuff like that. Has inside-out tracking, all that stuff. Why would you go out of your way to buy an expensive new console with a new VR headset when you could just get the Quest 2 to try out VR instead of? I mean, that's just what I think about it. Is if the price point's really high, then it's not going to really bring in people that are curious. It's just going to bring in people that are already committed to VR.
Oh yeah, definitely. Would you do any of you have PlayStation or Xbox?
I have a PlayStation, but I don't have a VR for it.
What PlayStation do you have?
I have PS4.
PS4? None of you have any consoles?
I used to have a
have a
PS4, but
PlayStation, yeah.
then I joined the PC Master Race.
I mean, I used to have
Exactly.
an Xbox 360. That's about that.
I've got an
Dang.
Xbox XS
Okay, Fred
and a
Flintstone.
PlayStation 5.
You got both of them?
Yeah.
You're like a traitor on multiple levels.
No comment.
Oh wow! I think the 360 was the last Xbox or console I've ever bought. I bought quote unquote. I think I got it in a gift, Christmas. You know, grandparents be like, "Oh yeah, here you go, Kenny. Merry Christmas." And you know, I go nuts, just like whoa.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Essentially. But yeah, PlayStation VR2 is coming. I think it's reasonable to assume it won't be available this year. I think it will be available early next year. That's like my bet, due to the supply chain. And
One thing I'm curious about though is I keep hearing rumors about like either an Index 2 or some kind of like wireless adapter for the existing headsets or something. Because like I'm a full body Index user, but as a dancer, it's like having some kind of wireless solution that wouldn't require me to downgrade from my current headset would be really ideal. Because obviously when I'm dancing, it's like I have to be mindful of the giant 20-foot tether that's sticking out of the back of my headset. Which I mean, I manage, but
I have the Vive Pro. I've had all of the Vives, and then I've got the Vive Pro, and that's like what I would call like the highest in like wireless headset. And it's just an issue of being able to send that much data
Bandwidth.
across, that much visual data. Yeah. Even then, you've got like this big antenna on the top of your head, essentially, that's wired into your headset, and it heats up real fast, and when you're running VRChat on a high resolution, actually using the full capability, well, you can't even really use the full capability, but as much of the headset as you can with that thing, the battery just sucks down. You have to have battery packs up there too. Headset gets heavy when you put the wireless. But that was what, like 3-4 years ago is when I got that thing or something like that. So maybe things are a bit better now. But
oh yeah, I mean VR technology has been maturing very, very quickly from what even just since I got into VR like 8 months ago. There's stuff that's starting to come out that I couldn't have even conceived of back then.
What are the exciting things that you mentioned earlier with the integration in VRChat with the eye tracking? Like, what was the thing they recently announced, VRChat?
so OSC.
OSC was it? Yeah, that's open
source container. Open sound container. Yeah.
It's an old platform used mainly in stage communication, I believe. That they've kind of just like taken and polished a bit.
Yeah, I was with somebody last night, one of the people that works with the VRChat dev team pretty directly. He was we're all partying, it's the weekend and stuff like that. He's got his mouth tracking working and all that stuff, so he's like sticking his tongue out at people being all freaky because it's weird to see an anime character in this game have like realistic mouth movement and then stick its tongue out at you, all that sort of stuff. And then he also had this bar on his chest, and when he breathed into a breathalyzer in real life, it would show you his blood alcohol content on the bar. It was pretty funny.
Whoa.
That's really cool.
That's like next level stuff. Just like there's some avatars that integrate into the Lovenses in some very interesting ways.
Oh, no, that's a different conversation. Next now.
That's a different conversation. Speaking of that, though, Kenny, from episode 2, Mr. Engineer, how's the development on the Thundercock going?
Oh, Jesus.
You would have had to have been there, but Kenny knows what I'm talking about.
Let's not go there. The Thundercock.
Alright.
I guess if anybody's interested in the Thundercock and its development and what it even is, I guess episode 2 is a good place to go. And don't go there. But no, don't. Forget what I said. Forget what I said. Oh, Jesus. But yeah, that's essentially PlayStation VR. And the other bit of news that's been out recently is Valve announced that they are going to be offering spare parts for the Index.
Yes, that excites me greatly.
iFixit?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
If I remember
iFixit.
correctly. Yeah.
They didn't say
No.
what kind of parts, if all parts are going to be available, or if just a limited amount of parts for the specific areas in the headset. They didn't give any details, they just said it would do it.
Yeah, because I know one of the biggest problems, especially with dancers that have the Index with full body setup, is a lot of the twisting that we do screws up our chords very quickly, and Valve has been running out of them very, very quickly. I actually had to buy a spare one recently, and I had to go to eBay to get mine. Thankfully, I don't know why this was the case, but I got it for a third of the price that it would normally cost, instead of like 2 or 3 times what it's supposed to cost. I guess I just got lucky in that auction. I literally have an entire spare Index just because I'm a dancer.
Goodness gracious.
I should get a spare Index.
It would be nice to have that kind of money. Right?
I should get an Index period. I mean, good damn.
Yeah,
My Index is all taped up.
How much damage have your Index sustained, Tom?
Most of it's to the cable and the screen, and then like the front part of this, because I'll like bend down. Sometimes I'll slam into my desk and stuff like that. So there's like some cracks right here.
Like, ooh, a
and
quarter.
it's electrical taped up, and then this side I don't know what happened. I woke up one day and like this whole part with the earpiece, the headphone, was like cracked open, so it's electrical tape back up together.
I haven't damaged my cable through 1 year of using my index. My cable is still fine, but I don't use shoes indoors. But I have stepped on it multiple times, and one of the things that occurred to me mostly is that I step on the cable and then I move my head right from one position to another, and then you just like you get tension, just like oh, just go full limbo.
Yeah, I've accidentally done that dancing before. I've also done the thing, I don't know, there's like the clip on the back left side that holds the cable in place. I've pulled that thing off a couple of times, but if you don't actually break it, you can basically just pop the thing back into place.
Oh, well, it has never gone loose for me. Yeah, it's still there. It's still there.
You gotta double check.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it will be really great for Valve to actually offer spare parts for the index. Personally, for me, when I got my index, it had this white line on the right monitor on my eye. It's very, very tiny. It's negligible. I actually contacted Valve support about it, but due to I'm not living in a country within the European Union, I've said this multiple times, but I can't really buy a new index easily, nor send mine for repair easily to Valve. So yeah, being able to buy spare parts for it, a new screen, mwah, I'm all for it. I'm so ready. Once that become available, I'm gonna buy a monitor, the right eye.
That might also be why they're doing it, because I'm assuming iFixit is third party, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so they're probably just trying to outsource the problem because they're just severely overwhelmed with it. Because, I mean, right now, if you go to Steam and try to buy any individual parts, whether it be controllers, cables, anything, like, they're just sold out of everything right now. So I think they're trying... part of it is also people doing RMA, like where you could basically send stuff back in that's under warranty and have them replace it for free. I've personally had to use that at least twice, because when I first bought my index, I don't know what was wrong with it, but after like day 6 of using it, something happened and I had to basically have it sent back. But ever since I got the replacement, it's been fine. But I'm noticing that that's becoming more and more of a trend, like if you pay attention to like the VR subreddits and stuff, especially the one for Valve Index. People are having to like send stuff back en masse. So that they might be doing that, just kind of try to outsource the problem to a private company and give people more options as well, because they could probably keep up with it a little better than Valve could.
Yeah, because
especially like hearing from Steam support, it took me like 2 days just to get a response from them.
Ooh, 2 days. Time is also a factor to play in there. People are more likely to just buy the spare part they need to fix their headset, instead of like sending away their headset that might take a week to just arrive at the facility, then to be confirmed, and then to be sent back. So the whole process could take a month for you to get your replacement. So, in my case at least, I would just buy the parts I need to repair it instead of like using the warranty, just because I wouldn't be bothered to wait that long, probably.
Especially for us VRChat addicts, where it's like not playing for a day feels like you haven't played for a week.
Yeah, going back into real life.
This game really does distort your perception of time. I don't know what it is, but it really does. Like, I'll not play for 2 or 3 days and be like, it feels like I haven't been on VR for like 2 or 3 weeks.
I've recently been out and about in public in real life. I actually had COVID last week. I mean, the prior week that has just passed.
So you decided to get out and about, huh?
Yeah, and I got COVID right about.
Oh my gosh.
So I didn't. It was probably the Omicron variant because it wasn't too bad. I mean, I got the lightest fever I've ever had in my life, and my voice kind of grummed up. I wasn't able to speak. properly. And yeah, that was about it for me. And well, people wanted me to give them Omicron just so they could get some free time from work. so they kind of deliberately came to me and just like, oh, hey, how do you had Omicron? Give me a hug. So that's one way to get love. If you ever need a hug.
You want a hug too long?
Yeah, but that's real life problems. So yeah, other than that, one of the topics I really want to discuss now, I actually have some half-bearing news. So what also ever happened the past few months with me is that I've had a project going on for an esports team in my local community, the town. So basically there's a local sports group that do football, handball, soccer, I mean, all manner of sports genres, right? And they wanted to invest in esports, and because the whole board of that sports group doesn't necessarily care about anything related to technology. I mean, they understand balls, but they don't really understand tech. So they got the funding. They got the funding secured. Like I think it was $35,000 for the esport room. But they didn't have the motivation, nor the people, nor the competence to complete the project. So basically, this happened. This just kind of landed in my lap, and if I hadn't done anything with it, all the funding would disappear, probably. So yeah,
Are you saying
what?
Are you saying the balls landed in your lap, Kenny?
I'm saying the whole esports project landed in my lap.
Me and Tom definitely giggled at that. We heard you say stuff about like balls landing, and we're just like,
you had to go there. Yeah, you did. I was waiting for it.
It's what the B stands for in KennyB.
Kenny balls.
I need two
It
Bs.
is etched in stone till the end of time.
Oh, Kenny balls. Regardless of the balls. So yeah, I've started an esports team. So we got 8 gaming rigs, 1 streaming station rocking a 3070 Ti. The rest have 3060 Ti's. All have 165 Hz monitors. Fully kitted headset, keyboards, mouses, you name it. Full out RGB all over the place. It's actually really gorgeous. It's a brand new place. It's really for currently just League of Legends, Counter-Strike, and maybe some other games, Rocket League. I've kind of hired 3 other people into the board of the esports club that are going to train their own teams, including me. But one of the things I want to do is that I want to bring VR into the esports thing as well.
Woo!
And here's my question to you. What games in VR do you think would work with esports?
I mean, they tried Onward in the past, and the game itself changed around the esport community that they were building. I wouldn't say it was the best of ideas, because it got, of course, really toxic very fast, and the game became very unfun. But
Sports toxic, you say?
What do you mean? In League of Legends?
League of Legends, like, come on.
It's part of esports
club.
But obviously, the front-running contenders are shooters, because out of all the games that you could play competitively inside of VR, those are the ones that feel the best or the easiest to get into, or going to be more drawn to the public eye as far as watching. Is a bunch of people going at each other in first-person shooter guns. You know what I'm saying? There's other things, but yeah.
I think toxicity and competitive sports kind of go hand in hand, though. I mean, look at literally any organized sport, whether it's like football/soccer, American football, like the heated rivalries that people engage in, people cause riots and crap over essentially teams that they're not actually a part of. It's like, competitive tribalism exists everywhere, so I don't think you're ever going to remove toxicity from the game. But like Onward is probably the one that I would say has a decent amount of promise, at least given the infancy that VR games are still in. Like, there's not really a lot of VR shooters, especially not ones that are attempting to go the more milsim route like Onward is. But the technologies overall are kind of just in their infancy. So I guess we'll see where some of that goes.
There is a esport game, actually. There is an esport in Echo VR. I don't know if you guys know.
Yes, yeah.
There are teams, there are full-on leagues.
Echo Arena.
Yep.
What is that? I'm actually not familiar with
you know
it.
the ball game that they play in Ender's Game, where there are a bunch of zero gravity people
The
going
movie?
around and they're trying to get the ball into the yeah.
I have no idea.
You don't know Ender's
I'm
Game?
a-
Imagine
I'm
you're in a zero
uncultured swine,
gravity.
okay?
Imagine you're in a zero gravity like environment and there's two teams and then there's a ball and then there's two goals that are on either side of the zero G space and there's like obstacles like floating in space and you have to kind of like launch yourself, grab the ball, push other people out of the way and try and get the ball into the goals. It's a lot like, I don't know, like soccer in that sort of sense, but like in zero G, and you can use your hands obviously.
So it's
a
like
bit Quidditch
intergalactic
in
soccer.
space.
Yeah,
Quidditch in space.
it's like
Yeah.
Quidditch.
in space.
Essentially, just imagine you're trying to play soccer on the International Space Station. Is essentially what it's like.
Yeah,
Interesting.
That'd be kind of funny.
and
Imagine
they're
the ball goes flying into the ISS kitchen.
I mean, the space is much larger than the ISS, of course, in the game.
Yeah.
But there is actually a thriving, I wouldn't say thriving, but there is an esports community behind Echo VR. I think it's only accessible on Quest currently, if I'm not totally wrong. I don't think it's on Steam. Do you know, producer?
I believe you're right in that.
Yes,
I believe you're right in that.
producer has spoken. So yeah, you can't really play it on Steam VR or any other platform. You might be able to use some emulator sorcery.
Revive should be able to get you there.
Yeah. I was about to say there might be workarounds around the problem, but yeah, it's a real thing. I actually had I spoke with a real team from a high school somewhere in America that played Echo VR in VRChat, and they told me about the esports community. I think this was a year ago or something. So yeah, that was really cool and interesting, and that's something that I really want to do with the current esport club that I have developed so far. Except we don't have VR headset ready. We didn't have the funding. We didn't have all the funding we needed. I mean, we could have just bought Quest 2s to just plop everywhere, and we probably had the money for it, but we favored RGB lights.
Yeah.
It's like make everything look pretty, not functional.
I mean, we it's not just
So-
that. I mean, we had to like have some buffer for the cash pile, and it was like a weighing of how we spend the money. Like, do you want to cheap out on furniture, like the desks? We need a TV, right, and a whole bunch of other appliances that we need in the room to make it function properly. So yeah, it was at the end of the day we decided that we'd drop Quest 2s. In maybe in the future. And
I just remembered, I wouldn't really consider it esports, but as far as like competitive gaming goes inside of like VRChat, I've been in here for a long time, and the oldest running like competitive game that I can remember is What's in the Box, which is a trivia game that's been going on inside of VRChat for 5+ years. And they make a new one like every like month or so, a new map to do. You're dropping down through 9 layers of hell. There's these boxes on podiums, and you shove your head inside of them, and it'll play audio or it'll have a picture, and you're trying to match them up with whatever they go with. and each ring has its own theme, and then the entire game for that week has like an overarching theme. And we've been doing that for a long time. And inside of VR, it's those puzzle trivia games or stuff where you have to manipulate stuff. Like the horror maps, everybody competes for their best time. The escape rooms, people compete for the best time. All that sort of stuff. Those seem to go over well. And then, obviously, the laser dome that was made a while ago, the LPD and a lot of other like roleplay communities compete against each other inside of the laser dome arena.
I didn't even know about that.
Same.
Me neither.
Although, as far as competitive games within VRChat go, I think my favorite one is BOMBERio. Have you played that, Tom?
No, I don't think so. Is that like
That's actually no. So it's actually the world I recommended to Kenny today for like the featured world. But essentially, what it is you spawn into a world. Do you guys know what plumb bobs are? They're like the thing from The Sims, like the diamond-looking thing.
The Sims, those
that, like,
diamonds.
is above all. So yeah, so basically the world is filled with a bunch of like different colored, diamonds that look like that, and you have to collect them and try to level up. But everybody in the little arena gets guns that you're shooting at each other. Like they shoot little projectiles that like go onto the floor and blow up and kind of have like a proximity that you have to avoid. And eventually it goes into a sudden death where like you can't respawn anymore. And it's kind of like a last man standing kind of thing. But it's really fun, and it's more like arcadey, cartoony. It's not anything, serious. But it's really fun, really competitive, especially when you get like upwards of 5-6+ people in there. And once it's like 8 to 10 people, it just gets absolutely crazy in the arena. Because they're all just trying to like fight to collect as many of those things as you can and like not get blown up by the other person.
How much have you played
for competitive?
That mode?
I've played. Yui's actually played it with me before, but I've definitely probably got at least 10+ hours in it.
What have I played?
BOMBERio.
Oh yeah. It took me a second. I was like, sorry. It took me a second.
There is one other game I think would be perfect for esports while we're on that subject. It's Beat Saber. There is already like the scoreboards that basically modders use for different songs that have high, like whoever can do the best. In my opinion, it's kind of, it's the only problem I have with Beat Saber is that they are predefined maps, right? They make the maps and you play it, and the more you play it, the better you get at it because you can memorize things.
Yes.
So that's like the only problem, and so the scoreboard is slightly skewed towards those who play the maps the most. But there's definitely an arena for brand new maps that have just been made and just rush out, and people can compete for the highest score with no knowledge about the map. Personally, me, recently I've been hunting those high scores on Beat Saber. Not the prior week because I've had COVID and I've been very busy due to work. But definitely, I've gone to that point where I'm chasing those top 10s really on most custom songs. Some songs are of course impossible to get at because I see that either certain people are just flat out insane and they just like know how to Beat Saber much more than me, which is probably the more accurate answer, or they are fucking hackers. That's like my explanation for myself. But yeah, that was one thing I could imagine be really, really good to just have an arena for, because when you think about it, when it comes to esports, you have like teams sit on stage. They sit on stage behind computers and they play, and you have like these crowds around them at the current mainstream esport games such as LoL, CS, or what have you, Dota, WoW. And I think it would be more interesting to have them on a stage actually doing something instead of tapping buttons. You know, running on a treadmill, carrying like a knock-up weapon or something. And you could do so much more with it. Just like add animations, or you know, if you're playing Beat Saber, you could create just stupid holograms that may give you a sword IRL, as in the game or whatever. It could be so cool. So I really want to see
There's
that.
so much potential.
And
So much potential for it.
Arguably, that would be more interesting to look at from a stage perspective than people behind a monitor.
Yes, I agree.
But yeah, that was
Also, I'm also thinking back even earlier before What's in the Box. Back when VRChat was, back when I had first joined VRChat, they were working on making games and stuff like that for VRChat. The dev team was, so they had come up with the combat system. They started out by making the game Steel and Gold, Capture the Flag, the first one, and another one that was really popular and had a lot of competition in it was Battle Discs, which was based off of, you know, Tron, the battle discs that they throw at each other. And I remember back in the day, like, people would actually hold like training sessions on how to like be better at battle discs and all of that. And there were a few tournaments way back then. There were only like 50 people that played VRChat back then, so the tournaments were always the same few people. But it was still battle discs was a big part of early VRChat, right after Steam release, I'd say.
That I haven't seen Tron the movies.
So essentially, it's just these glowy discs that they can pull out. They get 2 of them. They can block a disc, and you can throw them, and they're like boomerangs, and they bounce all over the place. They come back to you. And if you fail to catch it, or if you fail to block an enemy one, then you get cut in half and you die. And that's the way that battle discs works. Is it's either 1 versus 1 or 2 versus 2, and you're just tossing discs back to each other and blocking them and trying to get them with either the initial hit bouncing off a wall, or because it has the property of coming back to you, you can throw it behind them, and then if they aren't paying attention and they're focused on you as you're throwing one to them, you can sandwich them between 2 blades.
Damn. Now that is actually really cool. This sounds like this is a VRChat mod, right?
It is not a VRChat mod. This is something, it's not as popular anymore. I think the map still works. This is uploaded by the VRChat dev team themselves, battle discs.
Okay. So it's a map somewhere. It's
a map back when they were experimenting with games. If you look up the VRChat's like actual account on VRChat, you'll see all these worlds that they have uploaded. Amongst those is Steel and Gold, like I said, Capture the Flag, and Battle Discs.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna check it out. That sounds really cool. So yeah, that was esports. Anybody have any more to add to esports? No?
I mean, I just think it'd be exciting to see the potential for the future, because I mean, even like I said last time I was here, is VR, well, technology in general is advancing very rapidly, but VR technology, especially with the spurred interest in it over the last couple of years, with like, you know, the hundreds of thousands of VRChat players and the millions of people that have bought Quests at this point, VR is starting to hit that point where it's starting to become quite mainstream. So there's going to be, and there already are, a lot more companies investing in both software and hardware for VR. So just seeing what the future has in store for us, especially as it relates to esports, is going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's surely going to be interesting. But yes, I think this is a perfect time to go to a quick break. And after the break, we're going to talk a little bit about our VRChat games. VR games. So we're gonna have our each of us are gonna go down the line, take a VR game, highlight it, point at it, talk about it, and then the VRChat world highlights, and then we're gonna do the plugs, and then we are off. So stay tuned for that. Yes, we'll be back. Okay, welcome back to the virtual podcast, the 7th episode after the break. We are now gonna talk about VR games. We just agreed that Devil will be the one to first and talk about his game, which is BOMBERio.
BOMBERio, same thing. Either way, it's fun. Like I said, I kind of already mostly described it anyway, but
he's gonna bring a trailer there sometime, hopefully. BOMBERio. I think there's a YouTube video of BOMBERio somewhere.
There should be.
Yeah, I think when I saw the world link, there was definitely like a video there, just highlighting how the game works. It's a VRChat world essentially. And you talked about it earlier, where you're supposed to gather those diamonds, Sims diamonds,
to
level up.
Well, I know that the one from the Sims, they're called plumb bobs. At least that's what I've heard that they're called. But like that shape of thing is called. But yeah, essentially you're just trying to collect those while simultaneously trying to eliminate other players and not be eliminated yourself. And you have these like kind of cartoony looking guns that you shoot like a little projectile out, and it has kind of like an arc trajectory to it. And you try to and also the more you level up, the greater the proximity of your explosion gets for those. So there's obviously a further incentive to try to just collect as many of those things as possible, because it means that you'll have a greater chance of not being eliminated and eliminating more players. But it's basically like an arena style combat game, but in a more cartoony fashion.
Mm.
Are we getting a video of it up there, or
are you working on it? It's probably deep.
For me, I see it.
You see it? I don't see it.
I don't see it.
Yeah,
I see.
we see
I see.
Sleepless Nights.
FM attack. Yeah.
Can you
FM
try to
attack,
click the
Sleepless
sync
Nights is
to
what I see.
owner button?
Done.
Crikey.
Cry.
Hang on, let me come back there. Let me do some. Click the thing.
He's like, I shouldn't have to do your job too, producer.
Technical difficulties.
Oh, it's. Could you unlock that thing for me? It says it's locked.
Oh.
This one.
Alright, well, this music is pretty fire, so.
It seems like the video player is actually broken.
Hey, we gotta entertain the masses somehow.
Yeah, this is awkward.
Good,
Try to. Have you tried to close it and open it?
Either way, it works.
Yeah, that doesn't work at all. Well, shit.
Me and Yui are just like ADHD go burr.
Yes.
Video player is broken.
Good.
Good. Well, there's not gonna be any trailers. I forgot my water.
Oh, wait, there it goes.
Wait a
Oh, there
second.
it is.
Wait,
There it is. There it is.
There it is.
Hallelujah.
It works.
My goodness.
Yes, the technology.
A miracle.
I couldn't find the trailer,
Harry, I'm here to kill you.
This game looks enthralling on desktop.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's a lot funner in VR. Yeah, see, when that like fire in the background, that's basically when it goes into sudden death mode, because until sudden death mode, you can essentially continuously respawn. Once that shows up, you can no longer respawn, and then it's basically a eliminate down to the last man kind of thing.
I don't know why Abby's giving commentary instead of helping me, but okay.
They're not making it look as exciting as it actually is, though. I promise it's fun.
I mean, I can
agree
see
with-
the
I agree with
excitement.
Devil.
Well,
Looks
it's
like he's
also there's only
narrowly
two of them. Imagine when you get like 6, 7, 8 people in
10.
here doing all that at once. Yeah, we've had like our friend group, just like 10, 15 people in there, and it gets insane.
It's so fun though with like lots of people.
Harry, just give up and die already. No, I'm walking into it.
Yeah, it really looks like a fun thing. It's very light, easy going. It reminds me of.
How am I still alive?
I think it's an IO, like .io is like a. There are plenty of games that are hosted on .io, I believe. You have Agar.io,
Harry, can
Knark,
you die?
Narc something.
Yeah, I like the IO games. They're nice.
There are plenty of them.
Live it.
Harry, please.
I wonder if this is a knockoff of another IO game since it's called BOMBERio or BOMBERio, so as you call it.
Oh my god.
There it is.
Dead.
I hate you.
Harry 3258 killed him.
And then the champion's name and lights in a big board up there.
I'm a
And take the
Now
photo
everybody
of you.
knows to go after the champion.
I've still got my phone
Oh.
when I beat you.
Oh, yeah, Jaylong played with us.
kill you, Harry.
That reminds me a little bit about Apex, Apex Legends. You know, whoever is in lead is on all the monitors around the map.
I will get my points back.
Why are you so slow though?
Oh, it's because you have the circle around you, and the more of those things you collect, like I said, your weapon gets more powerful, but the circle expands. Anytime you walk outside the circle, your speed decreases significantly.
Oh.
I
So that's
see.
basically just like there's 1,000,001 incentives that just collect as many of those things as you can. Because if you see too, it says like level on your gun. The more of them you collect, the higher level you get. Once you hit level 5, that's when you have like the projectile with the largest proximity explosion,
My property. My
and your circle that you can navigate around in is a lot bigger. So you have more space to move around at full speed versus a stunted speed when you're outside of the circle.
I see.
Yeah, the points are still making like decent.
But yeah, this is available for free in VRChat.
I think it's like
BOMBERio
virtual.
with an I at the end. BOMBERio.
Like I said, it's a lot funner than it looks. They're making it look very boring.
I mean, he's playing on desktop and not in VR. Obviously, it'll be much more enthralling when you're in VR. Definitely.
Yes.
I started as a desktop user for my first 3 months in VRChat, and I honestly could not imagine ever having to go back to it. I'm just like, desktop, what is that?
Oh no!
Oh,
Boom! Harry's wrecking this
I really
dude.
dislike you right now.
Yeah, that's BOMBERio.
Those are mine.
Do you want to talk about your game next? You the cutie?
Those are mine.
Was it supposed to be a VR game, like in VRChat, or like a game from Steam, or did it matter?
Preferably something that's in VR.
Be honest.
A VR game.
So I chose the job. The game I chose was Job Simulator. I've played it before, and it's really good.
You just get some points.
Basically, it's like
He's just-
and stick drift. Basically, it's this thing where you go to work on VR. I know it sounds
Hello, human. Relation of
not
office
fun,
worker.
but I think it's pretty fun.
Talented job.
Is this
It
your
looks like
game?
he's working pretty hard there. See, now this is how you make a trailer.
Yes.
Some classic
Although it looks
music.
like these people are all going to get fired. Did he just try copying a stapler? Is that what I just witnessed?
Yes.
Was that salt in the coffee? Gee, I can't start my day with that salt.
Fired. Yeah, was that a burrito?
Yes. So that's Job Simulator. Basically, there's a cooking one. So that's 4 in 1. It's a cooking one, a car one, and then an office one. What's the last one? And I can't think of the other one right now. And basically, you just like do a bunch of things, like, and you can do whatever you want. You can either listen to the robot that tells you what to do or not, and it's really fun. It's pretty chaotic, as the video shown. And I think it's really fun. It's a fun VR game. And I recommend
This
it.
is a
It's, like,
single
about-
player experience, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's $19.99 on Steam.
1990. Oh, okay, that's
But-
beautiful.
It's a good game though. It is totally worth 20 whatever dollars it is.
It really seems like it's well polished with the voice actors coming up you with that robot, just like, you're doing great, you're doing a swell job, just like, yeah, doing whatever.
I would want to be the cheeky bastard that does stuff on purpose to see if I could get fired.
Looks like you have to work pretty hard at that.
But what's the goal here? It's called a job simulator, so I assume you're supposed to do some form of job. So with the cooking one, are you supposed to follow recipes to create some sort of food for the guests in the restaurant or something?
You can make. They'll tell you to do like specific recipes. Either you can listen to it or not, and they'll get mad at you if you do it wrong, and they'll be happy if you do it right. It's really funny to see their reactions.
But what about the car one? Like, how does that work? What do you do? Are you just like changing out parts on a vehicle?
Yes, and you can make it where, so basically to get in quotes fired or get demoted, it's like you can put bad parts in there and make them come back and basically charge them like a lot of money for basically messing up.
Oh no. So yeah, that's a business plan for all car mechanics. When the customer come in, you know, put in a bad part, and when they go away, it's inevitably gonna break down again, so they won't need to come back.
Yep.
Wow. What a sleeky business plan. Yeah, this game seems really cool and cute, entertaining. I might actually have to try it out. How long have you been
recommend it.
playing?
It's very
How long
fun.
have you played it? Like, how many hours? 1 hour, 2 hours?
I'd say at least 20 plus
20
hours.
hours? Wow.
Well, so there's an infinite night version of it. Like, once you complete all the stuff, all of your items will turn golden, and then you can go to the night version of it. And it's like, it's crazy. It's like a whole different world. It's all of a sudden, it's like, you meet new different robots, and like, it's nice. It's really nice. And there's achievements in it as well that you can get, so I like that a lot. I'm an achievement hunter.
Ah, a completionist.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, this definitely seems interesting. I might actually have to buy it. Have some fun. Yeah, Tom, let's hop on over to your game.
All right, so mine's Carrier Command 2. This actually came out last year on August, but the thing is, on launch, this game was excellent on desktop. It did everything that it wanted to, but it promised VR, and even the launch of the VR was really complicated because if you bought Carrier Command 2, the desktop version, you would get Carrier Command VR, but they had separate store pages, so everybody was really confused. They're like, I don't want to buy just the VR version or just the desktop version or anything like that. I want them both, but nobody knew that both of those things, if you bought one of them, it bought the other one on the other store page too.
So they
fixed it. Now they fixed it. If you go on the store page for Carrier Command 2, you can see it's a package, and it has everything with Carrier Command 2 and Carrier Command 2 VR, so it's less complicated. But the reason I'm mentioning something that's kind of old is because the initial VR for this, terrible. Like, the worst implementation of VR I've seen in a long time. But they just recently released a new update to it. I haven't explained the game yet. It's essentially like you are in the future. There's this colony that just produces things for the space civilization that you're a soldier for or whatever. And there is a enemy that has taken over all of the AI that like runs this colony. That's like hands-off, all automated.
So you're kind of like
what
humans
the colony
versus
uses to
aliens
protect itself
in
is
space?
a bunch of drones, and the most prominent big drone is this giant aircraft carrier that's capable of creating and
Oh my Christ. VRChat broke again.
Yeah,
And
just
Kenny's
read
back.
on the-
It's loading.
He's loading in.
Connection.
Kenny, what
Technical
happened?
difficulties.
Do you
What
want
happened, Kenny?
connection timed out? That's what happened. But
You're
Your
yeah,
mic's
muted,
muted.
first of all.
connection timed out. Jesus Christ. VRChat, fix this.
Beautiful. Oh, is this? Yeah. So the trailer for this is really cool. Like, it's a real cool game. Like, the graphics are simple, but in VR, extremely immersive. Like, look at this stuff. It's very beautiful, this game.
Oh wow.
So you're in charge of this carrier, and there's an enemy carrier with all the same capabilities that you have. You have to run a logistics network to get to your carrier. There's them using the VR there to do things. You can have a crew of 16 players with you, and you can have, I think, like 10 different AI factions all battling over the same islands, with like 50 islands, I think. Each of the islands, the further in you go into the center of the map, get harder. They have more and more defenses on them, become harder and harder to take. And there's the logistics network. You have to manage all of the weapons, armaments, the vehicles themselves that you're deploying, your fuel for your carrier. You can see that's an air base on that island. That island makes aircraft for you, so you would want to capture that island to get more aircraft, all that sort of stuff. So it's like a very big, large-scale carrier fleet battle game that is a ton of fun if you're into real-time strategies or just really cool fights. Here's them flying one of the drones in VR right there.
Oh wow.
But when this first launched,
I mean-
it was absolutely terrible, the VR side of this. But now I can say the VR is finally playable after almost a year. And they also opened up workshop support, so it actually has Steam
nice.
workshop support now. So you could reskin all those aircraft if you wanted to. You could, set up crazy mods or whatever. And you can see there he's playing with other players there. You can play cross-platform with desktop and VR users at the same time.
Oh wow, this really looks cool. I'm actually gonna buy it right after this podcast.
The issue is it is a little pricey. It is $50, but it is a pretty good game. I do recommend playing it with somebody that's played it before, because it's a little daunting to start out with, because you are controlling a lot when you're playing this game.
Yeah, so I mean, because it looks like essentially the first real immersive real-time strategy game on VR. Because I mean, I played Command and Conquer Generals and stuff like that back in the day, and I always enjoyed that kind of game. But seeing, you know, RTSs ported over to VR, that's going to be interesting. I'm actually really interested in this. I might buy it too.
Oh, it's a ton of fun. And the aircraft carrier, all of the vehicle deployments, the weapons, you can watch them work. You can actually go out on the flight decks and like watch your aircraft taking off. You can go down into the vehicle bay and look at the elevators picking up the aircraft that you've got on board and putting them on the aircraft lift to go up and then onto the runway to take off.
That is so
it's
sick.
Very cool.
I'm sold. I mean, shut up and take my money. I mean, I'm a sucker for logistics games, and you know. So one of the games.
Oh yeah, the logistics is cool.
One of the games I'm such a hoe for is a game called City Skyline. It's a city building game, and the main feature, I guess, of the game is like managing traffic, like where are the hotspots, and you know, getting the traffic to flow as efficiently as possible, because that increases the output of your city, and etc. etc. And I don't know.
That's the engineer coming out.
It's basically the engineer in me that comes out. And
Are you a traffic engineer, Kenny?
No, I'm not a traffic engineer. I'm an automation engineer.
With the multiplayer side of this game, a lot of the times I typically act, because I've got 70 hours in the game and I've got most of the achievements unlocked, and I've beaten the campaign like 3 or 4 times. The base campaign is pretty long. It takes quite a while, and I do recommend having other players there with you to help like carry the workload a little bit, because it is a little much with all the stations. I've done it before. I've beaten the campaign solo, but like it's a lot of work. It's a lot more fun to have other players where you can each focus on like, I want to be in charge of our air wing. I want to be in charge of our ground units. I want to be in charge of the logistics network. I want to drive the aircraft carrier. I want to take care of, now they've got fleets, so you can actually get like frigates and destroyers to come along with your aircraft carrier to help fight off their frigates and destroyers and all this sort of stuff.
There's like a whole thing where you can have like a whole crew doing a whole bunch of stuff, and
I think that's where a lot of the fun comes from. Not only just the battles, but being able to have a whole crew where like
you're going around doing stuff,
and the map is very freeform, because it's just a bunch of randomly generated islands that have defenses on them based on how difficult they are to capture. They've got like shield ratings for each of them, all the way from 1 shield islands, which are pretty easy, don't really have much AA. If you go in there with aircraft, typically you can wipe out everything on the island before you have to capture it, to the 5 shields, which are just absolutely ridiculous, just covered in all sorts of defenses. You need to shell the hell out of it first. It's surrounded by other boats and stuff that'll shoot torpedoes at you. So you have to come at it really, really carefully.
Does it support PvP? Does it have like carrier versus carrier with players?
Yes, it does. On the start screen, you can set up in a custom match. You can set up how many islands there are. I think you can have anywhere from, I think, like 5 is the smallest to 50 of them, and then you can have, I think, 8 teams, and each of those teams can either be controlled by AI or players.
This is so cool. Why haven't I heard of this before?
It's very niche. Like the carrier command that came before this one was also a pretty niche product. A cult classic that was like really, really supported. But like this type of game is very technical. Like I said, having a crew with you, especially some of this experience with it, is highly recommended, because it is a lot to take in at first. You can do it by yourself, but probably not for your first time. I've seen a lot of Steam reviews and all that are just like, oh, this game is way too much to handle and all that to play by yourself if you don't have any friends, never get this
They're
game.
degenerates. They don't know games.
And the sessions to take out 50 islands, like it can take like 30 minutes to an hour to take an island, depending on how difficult it is. Like, and if there's 50 islands, you don't have to take them all. Winning the game counts as you destroying the enemy aircraft carrier. But you're going to want a lot of those islands, because each of those islands is in addition to your protective network as well as your logistics network, because each island manufactures something that you need.
Damn.
So it's like playing Risk or Monopoly, but in VR in terms of the time.
Yeah.
This
But
is
it is a lot of fun because you can spend your entire time up in that bridge, just like controlling stuff, going inside the perspective of the vehicles that you deploy out. Like, it's hard to see in the trailer, but like there's these consoles that you control the vehicles with. You can control the ground vehicles and the aircraft vehicles from the same consoles. And if you click on one of them, you can see what armament they have. You click on the camera on them, you can look through the camera, and then you can take direct control of it and start like shooting with the guns on it, like you're in the vehicle and all that sort of stuff. And then you can back out, switch to another one, all that sort of cool stuff. Like you've got complete control of everything. But like I said, which is a lot to do.
I love a lot to do. I love to be busy. Damn.
Definitely.
I'm sold. Really, I'm gonna buy this. Definitely. Holy cow. I'm a sucker for strategy and logistics and, min-maxing outputs. That's like...
Yeah.
That triggers something in my brain that I just have to continue to work and perfect this and just... I don't know.
Yeah, right now, on my most recent campaign that we picked up because of the update coming out recently, we came back to an old one where we were running out of fuel and all of our fuel was on our barges, but the update, it changed the logistics network, so all of our fuel on my barges went away, so we had no fuel, and so we were just kind of getting pushed along by the ocean currents, because the current and the weather system in the game actually moves your boat around if it's unable to move a little bit. So we were just drifting and waiting to like come into contact with an enemy island so we could send what little fuel that we had out on our drones to go capture the island, because it was a fuel island. And then we were just sitting there docked for a while the fuel island was just putting fuel barrels aboard our aircraft carriers so we could go to the next island. So the logistics network is extremely important. It's extremely important. It can stall out your entire campaign if you are missing a key thing like fuel or the turrets that go on your aircraft in your ground vehicles, or if you don't have a small ammunition island, if you run out of small ammunition, well, you can't shoot shit. So what are you going to do? All you have left is a large ammunition island, and now you have to shell it, which is expensive, but it's all you have.
Jeez. I'm sold. I'm gonna buy this. Flat out. Can I can you teach me, senpai?
I could teach you, yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I actually just want to end right here and just like go play this.
Yeah.
Do you want to just go play this? Just, huh?
I'm broke right now, but I'll definitely put it on my wish list on Steam.
Well, that is Carrier Commander 2, both VR and desktop, you say?
Yep, cross-compatible. And if you buy one version of the game, I guarantee you get both.
Oh, that's so cool. When was this made? Like, what year was this initially?
This was released August 10th of last year, and I was binging the videos of all these streamers like playing it beforehand with their pre-release copies, and they were like, oh yeah, we shoved 16 players on the bridge of one aircraft carrier, and like they're all doing all their little jobs and stuff. 16 players for one aircraft carrier. I'll say you should probably run it with like 4 or 5 people, not 16, because a lot of them were just jumping off the side of the boat onto the barges and riding the barges around because they had nothing to do. But it's definitely a lot of fun if you have more players, because like being able to like sit there and you've got one person like running in the ground troops, and they're telling like the person that's up in the air circling the island with their gimbaled cameras spotting all the targets for the ground troops, and then at the same time the ground troops have their own gimbaled cameras and they're locking onto like turrets that are like the defenses on the island, sending a request to the aircraft carrier's gun control, so the fire what's he called? I was in the Navy, I should know this. The dude that's in charge of shooting the missiles and stuff like that, fire control, I'm pretty sure is what is called, would see a request in, and then he accepts it, and a cruise missile goes and locks on to whatever the ground vehicle's lasing. Really, really fun.
Oh, yeah.
That explains why you like this game.
Yeah, he's a Navy person.
Nautical's in the name.
Yeah, I never made the connection.
Well, now you have. Now you'll never unsee it.
Yep.
So yeah, let's not talk forever on this. We need to wrap up sometime, preferably soon. I want to play this. Yes, the game. The game I am gonna recommend is Beat Saber, because I haven't had the time to play anything else the past weeks. And I know excuses are boring, but you know, I've had COVID, I've done the esports thing, and work has been a bitch. Not really a bitch, but you know, you need to go to work. So yeah.
Understandable.
Yes, Beat Saber. That is a well-known game, but the reason why I wanted to bring it up is practically because it's like the only game I've been playing lately in VR. I haven't really done anything else. I haven't really been on VRChat even. I've been so busy. And Beat Saber, all of you have played Beat Saber. I mean, everybody that is getting in VR basically have played Beat Saber one way or another. It's just so mainstream. It's super fun.
I actually have not. I haven't played it in VRChat either.
Haven't you?
I've seen it. I've watched people play. I've just never played it myself. To me, it's basically like Dance Dance Revolution, but with your hands.
Yes, and it's so fun.
Gets you a workout.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
Bro, I would have missed a note by now.
The funny thing about Dance Dance Revolution, though, back in the day, I lost the dare once, and I had to play an entire song in Dance Dance Revolution in front of my friends, completely naked.
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
Wait. What was the stakes in this bet if that was your loss? Like what? Context, please.
Yes.
No, like it was a dare. Like we basically it was me, my brother, and a couple of our friends, but that ended up being the dare for everybody. So everybody ended up doing at least one song and going commando in their birthday suit.
Wow, this actually sounds like a rad party. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, funny thing about Nautical saying they were in the Navy, my song was actually it was a remix, not the original one, but a remix song of In the
Village
Navy.
People.
That's a remix by Captain Jack.
Wonderful.
Oh, that's cool. But yeah, Beat Saber, I usually say that I play it an unhealthy amount, usually in the mornings and then in the evenings again. It's like my workout routine before I go do anything work related, or if I don't have the time to go to the gym, that's usually the thing I go to.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And
Beat Saber is a good way to work out.
Like I mentioned earlier, I've gone to that level where I'm chasing those top scores, like on custom songs. Those stock songs that come with the game are. I'm so confident that most of the people at the top of that board are fucking hackers, because the score are just identical all the way down. They're just like, nah, fam. I'm not buying it. But yeah, Beat Saber, it's so fun. It takes a while to get used to. To me, when I started, I was just such a noob. I started on the campaign, but thing went so slow for me, and I was still like so jacked. I don't know, bad at it. But you know, it grows on you, and the more you play it, and the more invested you become in it, you get so.
Yeah.
You get just better and better and better, and you know, just that little progression that tells you in your brain that you are constantly getting better at this, and you can increase your scores, and you can do new songs and new difficulties, and it really just that's like the motivation for me to continue to play. I love hard games, so if there's something I can't do, I just like get frustrated, and I'm just like getting so invested. Like I'm gonna do this.
Understandable.
So yeah, that was the games. Unless anybody have anything else to say on Beat Saber. Nope. Then it's time for the VRChat World Highlights.
Woo! Yeah!
The quickest session, hopefully. My world is called Lacrima Lakes. Lake Lacrima. Lake Lacrima. It's actually a world that looks like.
Why do they call it that, Kenny?
It's not what you think, okay? Take your dirty mind out of your butt. Come on, please.
I was gonna say I haven't played Beat Saber, but I could have made a joke out of that one. Be like, "There's a different Saber I've been beaten."
Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh, come on, dude!
Unhear it. You can't unhear it.
Do I still want to recommend this world? Anyway, Lake Lacrima. It's with an I. Okay, it's not. It doesn't say cream at all. So it's basically okay. So it looks kind of trash. It's very big. It's like a lake, obviously, and then small houses like that. Looks like if you played World of Warcraft or of any kind, those horde huts that orcs used to build. It looks like those.
Yes.
And like I don't know, barbaric, barbarian theme, Viking themed style thing. That's what it looks like essentially, and they have like these small houses all over the place along the lake, and there's very lush green grass all over the place, forests, mountainsides that are really tall, birds, sounds. It's a very like, I guess, light place, but at the same time really big and beautiful at the same time, and I think it's very old too. Mostly because the URL is so goddamn short. I don't know if that is any indicator, but maybe. Yeah, that's my world. Do you want to do yours next?
Sure. The world I chose, I think, is kind of underrated. Is called Garage, Disco, and then it has German after it, which I don't speak German, so I don't know how to pronounce it. But basically, it's like this kind of like military-looking, like, I wouldn't say base. It's like just two buildings, and there's lots of games you can play in them, and it's like really fun. Some games that you probably never heard of. I don't know how to pronounce the names of the games though, but they are really cool. And once you learn the rules, they're really fun to play. They also have pool there, that's a classic VRChat game. And then they have the cards, and then like some kind of building game, which I don't know. Like I said, don't know what it's called. But they're all very fun. And then there's also a video player there as well to listen to music.
I don't think
And
the
the
Lake
theme
Lacrima has
changes.
a video player in it. I think it's very old, so it doesn't have any of that.
Gotcha. And there's also a red button that you can press and it can destroy the world.
What?
It doesn't actually like do anything to your frames, but like if you look outside when you get the red button, you just press it and then boom, it like does a big explosion. That's really funny.
That is actually a neat feature to have in a world that's look like a bunker or like a base style.
Yeah.
Is it like how's the color theme? Is it just like concrete? or is it futuristic?
It's more on the darker side. Sorry, it's more on the like darker side, more darker colors, easy on the eyes. But it also depends on the time you go there because they changed it by season. Like right now, it's in the spring season.
Ah. Does it really update according to the season in the northern hemisphere?
I don't know what hemisphere it updates to, but currently right now it's spring. And during like something, it was like January, I think. What was it? Back to maybe like November through January of this year. It was like the snow season, so like all the ground was covered in snow and it was snowing and stuff. And now it's spring.
So yeah, the link to what was the name of the world again? It said something German.
Frick. Garage Disco.
Garage Disco. Yeah.
And then it has German after it. Yes.
All of the worlds are in the description of the video. If you want to check them out, there's a URL you can click. That brings you straight to VRChat.com, and from there you can just launch VRChat through that web browser through a magnet link. Yeah. So Devil, your world.
Oh, we already went over that. It was BOMBERio because that was like, I mean, my game was supposed to be Onward, but like, I mean, BOMBERio was obviously also a game, but it was my. If I had to do a game and a world at the same time, that would definitely be it.
Did we talk about Onward?
A little bit.
Yeah, we did address Onward a little bit with both the esports thing. I think that's primarily when we were talking about it, was during the esports section.
Well,
so I feel like we kind of exhausted that game anyway.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, so mine's brief. Mine's brief, so just BOMBERio. Woo!
Yay! So, Tom, you had an interesting world.
Yeah, a little hard to pronounce. I'm definitely not going to pronounce it right, but it looks like it's spelled Kochō No Bar. It's a Yakuza-themed bar. I know of it because it's not like a splinter or a split off. It's like a whole nother group that like runs this bar, but it reminds me of back when Owlboy, the creator of the Great Pug, used to. He still hosts events, but he used to, when he hosted the events inside the Great Pug, there weren't so many users. Typically, everybody was in the same instance that was on for the events at the Pug. And he would actually have people working behind the bars and stuff like that to serve you drinks and stuff, so you could actually like feel the atmosphere of having it be a bar. They do something very similar at Kochō No Bar. There's actually a Yakuza roleplay group that runs this bar, and if you ever see a public instance of it up, try joining it, seeing if they're in there, because it's a lot of fun to just go in there and talk with them and like get a drink from them. And there's a whole currency system that works inside. You
Wait,
constantly always get money over time.
A currency system? Like
So yeah. So you can actually pay for your drinks, and there's slot machines up top on the second floor where you can gamble to get more, or you can play actual games on one of the other floors to get more with a bit less risk, but with more skill. And then you can purchase drinks and food and just talk with the bar staff, and a lot of the times they have people singing Japanese karaoke up on the stage and stuff like that. It's real fun, atmospheric, and I mean, you can just go there to play the games or socialize or whatever. I mean, it's got a lot of stuff.
So that sounds like a really good world. One of the things I've announced like on 2 different podcasts earlier is that we're trying to get like a live stream, a live report from the highlight world. So we'll have a reporter on site at the worlds live here in the studio. But we're not there yet. It's so we've tested it once, and we're trying to figure out all the details, and we're not even done with all the details surrounding it. And we need to like do one final proper test to just like solidify how we're going to do it. And because there's the delay for having a live reporter on site to be streamed to the stream server, and then to be pushed onto VRChat servers, and then to be pushed on here. So it looks like we are going to have to deal with a delay of like 4 to 6 seconds between that frame. And so back in the day, if you have ever seen live news post or before 2010 or something, you know, when the reporter in the studio, the studio news anchor just asks the reporter something, and it takes like 10 seconds for them to reply. And by the time they reply, she has already begun another question or something, and you have this odd, them trying to speak over each other, this very awkward moment. So one of the things the news channel did to mitigate that was that they had this code of speech. So a combination of 3 or more words were like a cue for the receiver that told them, okay, they're done to talk in like approximately 4 or 5 seconds. I might as well start talking now, because they know what the end question will be usually. So yeah, that's something that we're working on, just to have some sort of professionality, so we don't have this horrible delay and this awkward moment of like 6 seconds.
Professionality on this podcast. Wow.
Yeah, I know, very professional. But yeah, that was all the VRChat worlds. We're just about to end here. So at the very end here, anybody wanna plug anything? Start with you, because you're new.
Wait, what?
What's
You
your
want to plug anything? Got some socials or I don't
some
know.
people, some stores, some furniture, some fruit?
Yeah, you want to represent IKEA right now?
Best Buy.
Best Buy.
I have Instagram and a YouTube. Both of them are ue.thecutie.
Ooh. Toss me a link on Discord or something, and I'll pop it in the description of the video. So what do you do on YouTube?
Well, I started going more to Twitch, but I mainly post like clips of like and gameplay of games that I didn't catch on stream. And I just kind of post whatever. I started posting more VRChat content. Mainly just gaming is what I post. But like I said, I switched more over to Twitch.
Well, I'm stupid. I'm still on YouTube. So, I mean, the whole live part of this podcast is just really a gimmick. Like it's a full out flash. It tries to be a full-out Flash production, right? So the live part isn't necessarily that important. In fact, there's one guy who said end something 1 a.m., which was 40 minutes ago, almost 50. He said, hey. So yeah. Last time there was actually
that one guy that said hey.
His name.
We're addressing that now.
His name is Das Bumbus.
Oh well, Mr. Bumbus.
Yeah, there's actually one chat message there. Das Bumbus said hey. 8 minutes over 1 a.m. Central European time, which is essentially 40 minutes ago, plus give or take. Yeah, but yeah, that is essentially it. So your YouTube, we're gonna put it in the description. It's not there currently, but all of the other games that we've been discussing are there. And worlds. So Devil, your plugs.
I mean, I don't really have any. I mean, I have like an Instagram and a TikTok and stuff, but I haven't really set them up yet. I'm still working on that. Been kind of lazy about that stuff. So, I mean, DevilSigh is my name in game. If anyone wanted to add me, feel free to join. Outside of that, it's gonna have to be in the future.
So you don't have anything else to plug? Not even Starbucks? So Apple?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Alright.
Shadow Legends.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Alright, Raid Shadow Legends.
Alright, here we go.
Bam, just goes the raid commercial.
Oh, Jesus. So yeah, Tom, do you have something to plug?
No, I don't really have anything to plug now.
Come on. Conjure something.
You don't conjure something. No, I think I plugged what I wanted to plug with the bar there.
Nothing? Not even your pet?
Nothing.
Well,
My pet. Who do you think my pet is? What?
I don't know.
Why did you say who?
Maybe a fish? What did you say?
Why did you say who is your pet? And not what?
Hey, yo. There's some secrets.
Not even your favorite
No.
cereal?
My favorite cereal. I haven't had cereal in forever, but I still think Cinnamon Toast Crunch is my favorite.
Well, there you go, cinnamon toast.
Mm-hmm.
So, that leaves me, I guess. Wait, producer, do you have anything you want to plug? Except Best Buy?
Nah, I'm good, Chief. I'm British, but I don't know what Best Buy is, but yeah.
What about Nando's?
You cheeky.
You don't want to plug Nando's?
You keep Nando's out of this.
Okay, fine. No Nando's. Well, I am gonna plug the local gas station, Circle K. They make nice burgers.
You eat gas station burgers, Kenny.
They're really good, okay? I live in fucking nowhere. There's not much options to go about.
Okay.
That's like in certain parts of the US where going to the Walmart is like a hot date.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Getting kicked out of the Walmart is the honeymoon.
I'm so far north. Okay, here's the general area I live in. It's like in a very Arctic part of Norway, very close to the Russian border currently. So it's not a big town. It's like 5,000 people who live in the town, or in the area of the town at least. Maybe more. I don't know. But yeah, there are a few fancy restaurants and whatnot. But are you gonna go spend loads of money on those when you can just buy a relatively okay priced burger at the local gas station? Which are arguably, they aren't bad. They're good. They taste okay. I mean, you may have a different relationship to gas station food than I do, but I feel very judged currently.
Should we start a little documentary, KennyB's relationship with with gas station food?
I was gonna say, did my best.
He's like, wait, why does this burger patty taste like toilet water?
Usually in gas stations, you can see them.
There.
I mean, they have the
It's
whole
like, that's
kitchen.
not mayonnaise.
You can see them make the burger, right? And what they do. So it's not really that bad. They pull the burger out of the freezer and throw it on the thing. And
I'm used to gas station burgers being like a little wrapped up burger that's just sitting on a heated tray.
That's not at all how they make it. They come straight out of the freezer and they put it in this like quick frying thing, which is just like it's like heated on both the lower pad and the high pad, and the high pad just like lowers once they click the button, and it like pushes it, both that one and the bacon. So it just like rapidly roasts the burger for you. and then they pull out the bread from another drawer, and then they go through like this thing that heats the bread slowly and then pops it out, and then they put on the salad.
toaster?
Yeah, a toaster basically. And then they put on the salads, then the blah blah blah, and then smack it on, and then the bacon and the cheese, and you know, it's very quick.
Are you sure it's not like a microwave meal?
It's not a microwave. Okay, God. Okay. Oh, fair point. Yeah,
Oh
the
my
Circle K fries, they are made in a microwave, so never buy those. But the burger is really good.
Oh my god.
As a connoisseur of burgers, I will try.
Oh my god.
I mean, they are fucking disgusting. They're any other gas station in Norway make fries in like oil and roast it there, but Circle K fries is absolutely horrible. Stay away. Yeah, but this is very, very far away from VR.
Please tell me though, Kenny. Please tell me, Kenny, though, that your choice in gas station food doesn't inform your choices in other areas of life.
What areas do you have in mind?
It's like, hey baby, you want to be my gas station food? Quick, cheap, and easy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my.
No, okay. I do enjoy the finer things in life, but you know, when you're coming
Yeah,
home,
I was gonna say, I hope you don't pick up your girls at the gas station. Those aren't the
Yeah,
kind of girls you
to
want.
Slowly heat their buns and then quickly roast your meat.
Oh my gosh.
we need to end. We need to end before this goes too far off the far off the
Identify the
cliff.
necessary substance on the toilet seat.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Good podcast, Kenny.
this end is just horrible. It's so
Jay
bad.
Long, do you have any departing words of wisdom for us here?
Yeah. What do you want to say to Kenny B's mother right now?
I'll call you later.
Wow. If she were awake, she would totally accept that call.
Oh my god.
She's a very nice woman. Anywho, thank you so much for watching the 7th episode of the virtual podcast. Hopefully we'll be back next week. Hopefully with more interesting VR news and with our weatherman. Maybe.
Cancelled.
Huh? What do you say?
Not cancelled.
Not canceled?
Yeah, hopefully we're not canceled, right?
Hopefully not. Yeah.
We get canceled? Yeah.
Maybe you get sued by all the companies we've plugged.
Yeah.
For their free advertising, yes, they'd totally be offended.
Beat Saber comes in.
Say, this is stupid. Take it off. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. We're off. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
I'm just like you.